All right, guys. So what's happening is that we are giving you a bonus question on pricing. All right. So we are giving you a bonus question on pricing. So what we have here is an exam question that is being solved for pricing and several other things you need to know about pricing. This is partly because tomorrow will be an exam for, of course, management accounting, which is SEC, F5 for SEC, and things like that. All right. So in the meantime, I want you to have to take your time, relax, and also be able to see how you can benefit. Okay. Okay. So now what we have is a question on pricing. So we're going to have a series of quite a number of questions. We are going to have a series of course, quite a number of questions. So among those questions, what you're going to be looking at is a different, of course, different, of course, different questions. So I really hope that you stay put and see how is it going to work out. Yeah. So what we are going to have, of course, a number of different questions to be solved. So I'm just gonna allow you to share the video with your colleagues, share with your friends, let your friends come through so that they too may be able to benefit. Share this video with as many friends as you can so that they too may be able to benefit. All right. So what we have is a video for pricing. Everything you need to know about pricing is going to be shared in this video. So share the video. I'm just allowing others to come through and join in so that they may be able to also watch. So I'm going to be here and I'll be taking in questions. If you have any questions, so I'll be taking questions. I'm just going to do something like this. In the meantime, I'm going to say, okay, fine. So I'm going to play the video. This is the class. We're doing a lot of, doing exam questions. So I'm just going to play this one just right about now. Yeah. So yeah, I see people in the group are texting me. They're about to join. So that's a good thing. Feel free to join. All right. If you are doing MA and you want to increase your chances of passing tomorrow morning, it will be nice for you to click on this to wait and be able to watch with your friends. Yeah, that would be very nice. Yeah, to be able to watch with your friends. So I'm just now going to play. Yeah. So there we go.
All right. Okay, so there we go. Now, what we are saying that pricing is important for every business. So whether the business is new, the business is old, the business is in whatever state it may be in, pricing is one of the most important topics. Because at the end of the day, as a business person, you will need to sell your products. You will need to sell your products. So, how do you sell your products? You're supposed to price them somehow. And sometimes, if you don't price your product in a way that is competitive, you may even end up unnecessary losses. I'm saying unnecessary losses because some losses can be avoided. So when we talk about pricing, we talk about a number of issues. So in this session, what you're going to learn, guys, is we're going to look at the full cost plus pricing, marginal cost plus pricing, target costing and pricing, life cycle costing and pricing. We'll look at backwash accounting. We'll look at other pricing methods. So pricing, of course, we're going to look at a number of beautiful, fantastic stuff. So for the purpose of this session, we are not going to do all these in one session. So what I'll do for this session, I want to give you an overview of just what to expect, and then the others will be doing them with the question. So what we are going to look at is the C. I want to give you an overview of what the examiner likes, because here, when you go one by one, it will take us a long time before we get it done. So if you see on the sheet here, we have the format. That's the life cycle costing. So it's another technique we use in pricing. Life cycle costing has got to do with pricing using the value or the costs that are incurred throughout the life cycle of a particular product. Here, this is different from other methods. Why is different? Because this one brings to light other costs that were not calculated for, especially when you're using a marginal costing or full cost pricing principles. The other things that are not covered for in those sessions. So here, when you are using a life cycle costing, you cost for everything. So among the costs that are not dealt with under these ones, for example, if let me give you an example of this one here. Let's say here, let me bring in life cycle plus full cost plus pricing, and then I'll bring in marginal costing plus pricing. So let's go to this one. So let's say if this was full cost, full cost, of course, plus pricing. What happens here on full cost plus pricing is that under full cost plus pricing, we don't really care so much about pre-introductory costs, because here all we do under full cost plus pricing is we look at all the production, the production costs or production costs. Then we add variable costs. We also add the markup. What do? We arrive at a selling price. That is how easy it is to value things at full cost plus pricing. So full cost plus pricing was simply saying this one is a method. This one is a method of determining the sales price by calculating the full cost of the product and then adding a percentage markup for profit. So here you simply get the full cost of products, then plus markup, and then you're done. So what do? This one, you arrive at what? You arrive at a selling price. lot of advertising costs. Have you seen? So you do a lot of ads because now there you are going to have a lot more of ads to work with. So the introductory stage that you're going to incur. So apart from ads, sometimes you're going to give people some commissions and things. Like see that the demand will be low because no one exactly knows what is, and these things are low. It won't benefit us much. So you have to come up with better ways of pricing these products because demand is low. People don't know about your product. There'll be a lot of adverts. While you are doing heavy advertising, you must remember the aim here is to establish what the product in the market. Have you seen? Which means that you want to do what? You want to gain a huge market share. And this is key for you to succeed. So what you're looking for here in the doctor, you have a huge market share. What's going to happen is that that market share is going to benefit you to sell to clients. So there are different prices. And you can either charge using what is called penetration. Now, when you use skimming, what we are simply saying here is that full cost, of course, you can use full cost, of course, plus pricing. You can use the same one. It can still work. So those three can work there. But look, hey guys, I want to charge more money at introductory stage because you are the only one. So usually skimming unique products. Have you seen? It is also suitable for what? It's also suitable for unique products. When a product is unique, so that you recover what? You recover these costs here. What you want to recover, these costs here. So you want to recover all those precondition costs. So what do? You bring in skimming to recover those precondition costs. For skimming, you're going to charge high amounts to recover those costs. But again, you may think about it this way. It exists, they begin to buy. Obviously, there will be competition coming through. What you do, you're going to reduce from skimming. Now you're going to use penetration. Or you can go to full cost plus pricing. So the aim is to recover costs, initial costs, research, design, prototype, legal fees, professional fees, and things like that. Mr. Gregory, welcome. It's good to see you. So apart from that one, you can also use penetration pricing. Now, penetration here simply means penetration. Now you want to penetrate something, you want to be part of the market. What do? When I was starting to do my tuitions, I'm going to tell you that at first I was doing it for free because I did not want to charge anybody, despite having a lot of clients coming through, please charge us. I would refuse because I was scared. And when I started charging, I would also wouldn't charge much. I would charge 500 kwacha. The first people was charging them 50 kwacha per session. If I follow you at your place, I will charge 75 kwacha per session because 25 kwacha was for my transport. I would go to Kabwata, Cavendish, and things like that. But after some point, when we made a name and people came to know about us, what did we do? We changed our prices. So now we went to reasonable prices. But even that, the idea was to get a market share. So now that we have a share on the market, we can now charge according to what everyone else is charging, if we want. Yeah. So now, what's happening here is the same thing also for the exam purposes. So you must say, okay, fine. I could charge a lower amount for penetration so that people can get to know about me. But once people know about my services and products, I'm going now to charge a high amount. So penetration requires you to charge lower than your competitors, so that people can begin to buy from you. Once people get to know how good your product is, then you can increase those to be able to buy. Right now, I can go and charge anybody any amount in financial reporting. They will pay me because they know I can deliver. Anybody can come and say, okay, can you help me with them? I'll be able to charge an amount, I'll deliver. So I'm not scared of charging because now I know what I need to do. Just the same thing. Once people know that you can manage, they'll pay. So now here's the issue. The problem in the exam comes in. The examiner tells that they are launching a product which is new and unique. If the examiner uses those two statements, the product being launched is both new, China, and also unique, then skimming might be the best. Why? Because the unique product, you are the only one on the market. No one else does it. So charge higher prices to get more money to recover your costs. Then when competition comes, then you can reduce, nobody cares. Unique. I think that's fantastic. But again, apart from that one, there's something else again, other than unique and blah, blah, and blah. There's something else. If the product, the government says the product is new, just because the product is new, it does not mean it is unique. So there you may think of penetration pricing. Yeah. All right. So those are some of the things that we said we need to explain a bit. So they are going to full cost plus pricing. Now, full cost plus pricing, this one is extremely dongolistic because it ignores pre-condition costs. Those pre-costs, it ignores these ones here. Have you seen? So this one ignores the pre-costs. This one ignores the pre-costs. So this one does not consider the pre-costs. It ignores them. So you may think you've made some profits when you've incurred $1 million there that you've not accounted for. Have you seen? So it's important. It's important to be able to remember that one. All right. So there we go, guys. So what we have now here is okay. So let's go and do this one. Yeah. All right. So what we are going to have here now is something. Oh. Oops. Let's go to the next one. So the next one now here is growth. So what do you do at growth? At the growth stage, what do you do? Now at the growth stage here, your product now begins to grow. People begin to know about you. They begin to hear, no, there's a man called Gregory, is a fantastic man. So people now begin to know about you, Mr. Gregory. They begin to know about Pamela. They begin to know about Mwenya. They are knowing all about all you guys. Now, what do you do when your product has reached growth? Because now at this point, you are no longer a toddler. At this point, you are at least somebody who knows what is doing. So at the growth stage, you must remember, once the hard work has been done, the growth stage has also been launched. Here, you may want to introduce also other forms of pricing. So, for example, at the growth stage, here, the aim is to establish a large market share. Have you seen? So now the aim of this stage here at the growth, all you want here is a large market share. So you want a large what? You want a large market share. So large market share, that is your aim at this stage. You want a very, very large market share. That's what you're looking for. And you're willing to get that share at all cost. I see. Now, what you must understand that market share is easier to obtain during the growth stage because the market share is growing and the increased market share does not have to be gained by what? Taking sales from another company. So you don't get market share by taking sales from another company. No, that's not what you do. So in a mature market share has to be poached from competitors and their reaction may be unpleasant. So what helps to get a huge market share? It must be poached from your competitors. Look at what your competitors are doing. You see? So what we are saying is that market share is not obtained from sales from another company. No. It is obtained because you've done something that forces your competitors somehow, or that makes you look better than your competitors. So during the growth stage, competitors will enter also the market, some of which will not survive into the maturity stage. Some competitors also come in to come and participate because they've seen your products doing fine. When COVID-19 came, I must confirm that I was one of the first people in Zambia to start doing lectures on Facebook and things like that. One of the first people. But if you go now, there are lots of people on Facebook. doing tuitions. Even those people who are saying Facebook is evil, now they're advertising on Facebook because they have seen that this is the future. So growth also brings competition. So what puts you in business is not to say bad things about your plan, your competitors. No. What puts you in business is to do something that's going to make people feel like you are better than your competitors. And that is not criticizing your competitors. Maybe reduce the price, but give them good quality. Okay. So anything else? Yes, there's something else. Now, this is stage when you are still growing. You are going to attract more competition. Have you seen? So here, they will be need to keep prices what? Constant. So here, what do? You may watch first. You may use what constant pricing. You may use constant prices here. What this does here, it looks clients to you. People don't leave. Like to a point where someone can say, when I care, no. For the past 2 years, or a year or so, 2 years now, so the price has been constant. We wanted to increase last year, but because of COVID, we decided to just let it stay at the same level. Now, look at it. If your prices are constant, they may do what? They may come on board and reduce prices because people like you. People are going to stick with you because they feel you are the best guy to do business with. So at this point, all you're trying to do is doing something. Everything. So you must know what happens at the growth stage. It's extremely, extremely important. So all those kind of things may happen. Now, maturity, your product has matured. Now here, remember this is what increased demand is there. So there's increased demand, but also there's increased. You may be there's increased demand and also competition. Have you seen? Yeah. So when you get to maturity here, you get to maturity. Now, when you get to maturity, one thing you must understand that here we have low demand. Now, because you have low demand, I'll give you an example of a school that I respect so much. There's a school called Zaptak. It's one of the schools that was statistics from students. It was second to Zikas in terms of delivery in Zambia. But today, we can't say the same, partly because people have left. And I was shocked one day I saw the advert where they were even saying paper. Or you pay charging quite very low price. There's no one to pay a good amount, but it's because of this maturity. It's like the school now is reaching its maturity stage. When you go, you find people packed everywhere, packed. But now there are few people. So partly because maybe competition has come on board, there are people like other guys I'm seeing on online. So there are lots of people doing online learning. So even all those people have also contributed to big schools losing clients because now people are now preferring to go to people who are independent and be able to learn online. That having to drive all the way to school, sit in class, come back in traffic. So now people have started to just move on from that kind of trend. So a lot of schools are now losing what, not just that, even other tuition centers, they're now losing what, clients to online learning. But also, it could also be because of what, maturity. People now, it's like people have reached a stage where now they're just no longer excited about the place as they used to be. So there's always this point in business. This is why when you still have a large market share, make the money that you can make before someone else comes on board. It's very important to make money when you have a chance. Now here, what do you do? Now, so what Substack is doing, what they are doing, they are telling you, no, if you pay for one, you get one at chance. And we also do that. Or sometimes they're going to tell you, no, here, if you do this one, this will include this. They are giving some sort of packages, like incentives to make somebody want to come and do it, want to come and pay, which is a very good thing. And it's recommended also for what? For learning also in pricing. So because here products have to be what differentiated in order to maintain their position. So here you use what is called the products differentiation. So that's what you're going to be now doing here at majority stage. Why? Because you want to maintain their position in the market, and also new users for mature products to be found. So find new users. What this company has been doing, they are targeting school leavers. They are grade 12, we're just leaving school. Come here, we're offering this. So they are targeting also. So they are trying to see new users, because these ones could easily be convinced to come and buy. So it's important that at this stage you begin to look for other clients, because the ones who have current are not paying you. Anything else, of course, you must understand at this stage. Imagine if you are charging the price you used to charge for one paper for two papers, that means there will be no profits. Have you seen? At this stage now, the profits are quite low. You can't make as much money as you used to make. So this is where now, in some cases, you may want to introduce premium pricing. Like what this one, says, no, do you want big chips or large or medium or small? Same pot. You are paying chips for different prices from the same pot. Have you seen? But if you think about it, the chips are just the same. There's no difference. But you're buying it because of the premium. You feel this one is large, so you pay more. So you come up with incentives here on how to charge. There are different types of pricing methods that you can use. Yeah. But when you get to decline here, now at decline, because now what we have seen that people now, you are like a bubblegum. How do you like bubblegum, guys? Bubble. I'm not sure if that's how you like bubblegum, but I know about that's what bubblegum. You like a bubblegum because your utility has finished. At this point, people are completely not interested in this product. It's like the way people are not interested in BlackBerry phones. If you brought a BlackBerry phone, no matter how big it looks today, no one is going to buy from you. People are not just interested in those phones. Those phones have reached their maturity stage. Yeah, so nobody wants to associate themselves with BlackBerry phones, because they have reached their maturity stage. All right, so anything else? Yes, there is something else here. Something else that we want to talk about here is that when immaturity is reached, have you seen? The company is interested in minimizing elasticity. Do you know what that means, guys? Elasticity of demand. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that word means, guys? Elasticity of demand. Do you know? Because see, what we're trying to communicate to you is that when the market declines, price wars erupts, because companies with products which have elastic demand seek to maintain full utilization of their production capacity. There's what we call elastic demand and inelastic demand. And the examiner sometimes asks you, say, what's the difference between elastic demand and inelastic demand? So, elastic demand is, of course, where, let's say, ice cream. You know, ice cream has got the elastic demand. A small change in the price may result in a big change in the demand. If you give those ice creams, the one that go at 80, 89 kwacha, or 1 something kwacha, or whatever it is, you give them at 10 kwacha, all those 1 liters, all those big beakers. Before you know it, in minutes, people will buy like no man's business. But if you increase an ice cream from 10 kwacha to 200 kwacha, no one will buy. That will result in a very huge change in demand. Because they are luxury items. They are not necessities. People can do without ice creams. But if you look at menu, no matter how much we increase menu, the demand will not change that much. Because the menu has got inelastic demand. Demand is not affected so much by the price, no. Demand is always there, regardless of the price. Even if you reduce the price of meal today, people will still buy meal. It's not like they'll be very excited. Say, no, let's go and buy more. No, there was 2 people to buy the stock. No, yeah. All right. So, is there anything else that we can talk about here? Of course, there's something else. When you're at the decline stage, there's something you need to understand here. Here, because when we say decline, what we mean is that the market has got enough of the products. You know, the people have bought enough from you. Now, when you're just starting, the products may be profitable just a little bit during the declining stages. But eventually, this one, you begin to incur losses. So this is where you do loss making. you have to leave the market because you are making losses. You see? So as a company, you must make a decision to stop. So you reach a decision to stop because now you are making losses. So let me take you now to the question. There we go. We have a question. Now tell me if you can see that slide, that screen there. Guys, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, is the sound okay?
Yes, it's perfect.
All right, perfect, good. So, I'm now falling in love with this new software. To be honest, it's easier for me to share stuff. I did not know it would be this easy. I'm just switching between things on my screen without having to leave, back, load it, download it on my WhatsApp like I used to do with Skype and Zoom. This one, I'm just doing it, effortless. I think I like this one. I really like this one. Oh yeah, okay. So there we go. There we go. That's why they say free things are expensive. What? Yeah, this one is nice. So what we have here, guys, is a question. So I'm gonna ask one of you to help me read because, to be honest, I've been reading things for a very long time. Help me read, guys, somebody. Pamela, help us read.
Sorry, Mr. Stambo, I'm in a place where I can't.
Oh, okay. So Pamela is in a place where she can't. So let's just ask somebody who can. We have Sharon. Sharon, can you try and read for us? Sharon? You may want to admit your speaker.
The question is not going to be the screen. Question what?
Can you see the button on the screen?
No.
Can you see this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Following the splendid performance and crowning of the mighty Zambian national soccer team in the just ended Confederation of African Football Champion, co-hosted by Equatorial, Ghana and Gabon, Beck Fashion has designed a new and unique classic outfit for the soccer fans across Zambia. The proprietor of Beck Fashions is inexperienced in the business world and has come for you for advice. Has come to you for advice.
So Hii exam takuwa kwa bilingesho. Takuwa omuntu bilingesho exam wapa shirepo. Chamu napo ene. You'll be the first one. Sharon. Sharon, ni
Yes,
exam we. Ni exam we.
I was fast or what?
You are just okay. You're not analyzing anything. So, because the exam, there are some things that we always say when you see a full stop. When you see a full stop, stop. The exam. And the first things first, always start with the requirement. You see, for example, here we have been told that advise the fashions on the choice of two appropriate pricing strategies. Two pricing strategies for the new, notice, and the unique. You should have seen those two words. Guys, don't you remember me saying something about this in our earlier introductory notes?
Yes.
So you should have remembered this one, Sharon. New and unique classic outfit. Before I even go to read this, you should have seen the question. Then it says, explain the difference between elastic, or can you believe that, and inelastic demand. Oh, so the examiner likes this kind of things. Have you seen that? So for me, like I said, I was just focusing on what the examiner usually examines. But there are a lot of other notes on pricing that you can read in the manual. But for now, we're not going to have time for those. Then give what? Give examples. I think we answered this one in our information. We talked about mini meal and ice cream. Let's do examples. So that 5 marks was just for free. Now, as Sharon was reading, she read so well, except that she read it for bedtime stories, not for the exam. So following the splendid performance and crowning of the mighty Zambia national soccer team in the just ended Confederation of African Football CAF Championship hosted by what? Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. Becky fashions are designed. Look at that one. They are designed. Even if the examiner did not tell you that it was a new and unique, you should have known that they have designed on their own. Don't you think so? You should have known it was unique. It was new. They designed it on their own, which means it's unique, it's different. So because it's unique, and then the examiner told you advise on two pricing strategies. You could also talk about skimming and the penetration immediately. And the most suitable one is skimming, because it's new and unique. But because it's 6 marks, we can talk about skimming, we can talk about penetration, and we full cost plus pricing, because 6 marks they can't just give you for the technical skimming alone. No. And then we have seen that full stop. Okay. So the business world and has come to you for advice. Now remember, when we are advising somebody, when we buy advice, what is your advice? Imagine if a Chimbusa, most of them have problems in marriage. Because if from their grandmothers, people in the 21st century have got different mindsets, there's technology, they think differently, they don't buy one Chimbusa. Or some of it may be true, on that what it may be true, it may not be appropriate. So advice means let it come from your head. And don't go and get a book and start reading. No, the book says that's not advice, just what you think as a professional in the exam. So according to what you think, well, we can you could suggest things. Okay, this one could use skimming, partly because the product is new and unique, which means can take advantage of this pricing model to recover their initial expenses. Happy, excited, and you're not even worried about in a way that makes the examiner even feel good. The examiner wants to fall in love with you. Don't reject this proposal. All right? Something like that. All right. Is there anything else? Penetration pricing. Okay. B functions could also have used what penetration pricing. Have you seen share? Have you seen? And when B functions is product is not yet known by many people. So charging them to charge lower prices so that they can get a huge market share, after which they can now debate back to what? To higher prices. Because now you mentioned the company. Don't just go and repeat notes of the textbooks. No. So anything else? Yes, there is something else. Okay. There's something else. All right, guys. You would have also talked about full costs. Even that one also could have been used by what? By Becky Fashions at that introductory stage, where they could have gone recorded so you can watch it any time you like. I'm saying the class is being recorded, you can watch it at any time you like. I'm saying that the class is being recorded. The class? I'm not too sure. I'm on my way. I'm in transit. Yes, so I'm saying once you get where you're going, you can log in and watch. The class is recorded. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Okay, sure. Bye. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. So there we go. So now what we have here. Okay. So what we have now here is another method that you could have mentioned, which is simply, full cost plus pricing. Now there, what B functions could have done, they could have just done what? They could have simply gone to talk about, what is this? They could have talked about, full cost plus pricing. They could have talked about, production overheads, variable production overheads. They could have talked about other costs and then add a markup to arrive at the same price. They could have used that one. Even though, that is not the best, but you could have talked about it as well. Now, the examiner goes on and he says, you know what, guys? Guys, are you okay with that answer? Is it so hard? Oh, yeah. See? Chyla, are you all right? Everything okay, Mwenya?
Yes.
Okay. So there we go. So now, let's go to what the examiner likes. The calculations. Because he knows that there are people who just don't like to calculate things more than they like to explain things. If you are good at explaining things, there's a higher chance that you will always be passing your papers. If you're a person who is only good at calculating things, there's a higher chance you'll be writing 4 or 5 times, or at least more than once before you can pass, because your strength is in calculating things, which is a bad strength. Whatever you do, understand the principles that come in the theories. That is the only way you survive. if you know the theories, numbers are easy because you know the principles. Numbers are easy. Numbers are based on principles. So, I want to tell you a few principles that you're supposed to stick with as we go throughout this journey. I want to tell you a few things that you're going to remember. Four things after that you need to know when you're doing pricing calculation. Now, these four things, number one is when the examiner uses this word maximum revenue. What does the examiner want from you, child? If he says, can you tell me what the max revenue is? What is he really looking for from you? Then the other word I want you to be conversant with is maximum profit. What is the examiner looking for if he says maximum profit? What does he want you to use?
That is
So, let me take you back to these guys around here. And this is so because I'm just such a wonderful man. So I'm going to take you down here. And then we have the C part. Of course, we have part C. You know, part C. We have part C. All right. C stays there. We have part C. Okay, guys. Anything else? We have part C there. Now, let's talk about part C. Number one, max revenue. This is what I want you to know. When the examiner says max revenue, I want to remember this one every single time. When the examiner says maximum revenue, maybe let me write it in full. But there's always a guy who forgets what was talked about. Maximum revenue. Then I'm going to talk about, apart from this one, I'm going to talk about maximum profit. All right. Then let's also talk about marginal revenue, which is called Mr. You know, let's also talk about marginal costs. Yeah. Okay. So, marginal revenue when the examiner says marginal revenue, make no mistake. When the examiner says, hey, can you tell me something about marginal revenue? What the examiner is simply telling you, maximum revenue. The examiner says, can you tell me about maximum revenue? Maximum revenue At a point, maximum revenue occurs when marginal revenue here equate, have you seen in the exam, equate marginal revenue equation. Please do that. Marginal revenue equation for marginal revenue should be equated to 0. And remember the A minus 2BQ, A minus 2 should be equated to 0. That's what you do in the exam. Marginal revenue, always don't change your mind. Don't change your mind. Your friends don't even know these things. They just start. But if you keep equating this thing like this, you will never fail a question. But you need to do when the examiner says maximum profit. Remember, max profit when you get is equal to marginal revenue. So marginal costs, marginal revenue. You're going to say marginal costs will be equal to minus 2BQ. That will be your marginal cost equation. If we come on it, that MC may. Have you seen that? So sometimes the examiner that cost. So variable cost is equal to marginal cost. Because marginal cost is the incremental cost for making one extra unit. Variable cost is also the incremental cost for what? For making one extra. So it's the same thing. Variable costs are cost that change according to the level of activity. And that definition satisfies that of what? Of marginal cost. So you can equate marginal cost the same as variable cost. Now, when the examiner comes, we have marginal revenue already here. We've done marginal revenue already. What about marginal cost? Marginal costs, MC is equal to VC. Don't forget that. Guys, if you forget that one, you are gone. You are gone. Gone, 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 and gone. Now remember, the price function here, notice, let me bring the price function because this one is also important. Let's bring the price function. How about the price function? When you come to the price function here, have you seen? What should you do? Price, so this one is A. P says P is equal to A minus BQ. That's the price function there. Now, how do you get A? A is equal to demand at which price is 0. Have you seen? So demand is a price. A represents the price at which demand. See, I've swapped. A represents the price at which demand is equal to 0. See what I've written? I've said a demand at which price is 0. So I'm supposed to say A represents price at which, of course, price at which demand is equal to 0. It's like ice cream, you put them at 250, the demand will be 0, no one will buy because an ice cream is not a necessity. It's an elastic good. Okay, so those are the things you must know. But again, you must know that here, when you're working out the marginal costing, the marginal revenue function, have you seen this one? Remember, this one is only used to get quantity required. Have you seen? Quantity required to be either sold or produced. It should not be used to get price or profit. It should not be used to get the, 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 the price, the profit maximizing price. Use the profit maximizing price. No. So it must not be used for that. This equation just useful to get what? To get your quantity required to make money. So once you get the quantity, go back to the original demand function. Always get back to original demand function. Listen up. After getting what? After getting quantity. A minus B, just the original demand function, is equal to A minus BQ.
Yeah, by far better than somebody who's been studying this for the long.
Because what we have discussed is what you need for you to pass exam questions. That don't make sense. Let's get back and do this exam. Let's go to bed out. So now look, the examiner says, and this says, and marginal equations for product Z are as follows. So in this question, there's these equations. He gave them to you the same price equation as the demand function, the marginal equation. So marginal equation. So he told you, he gave, and he told you the fixed costs. He says, B, in order to do what? To maximize. He says, you know what, guys? Tell me, what does it to maximize profit? Oh, that sounds good. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. No. So, let's get back and forth. Is it okay? Forth?
Okay.
Okay, so let me get back to this so answer sheet so that we can, I'll just be telling you so that we don't get back and forth. All right. So let's do the solutions. All right. Solutions. So solutioner. So we are looking at the solutioner. So solutions, of course, solutioner. So solutions. So what we have now here is a solutioner. Boom. The first one says what? What are we looking at? The first one. What are we looking at, guys? On the first one?
The selling price.
Ah, very good.
Maximize profit.
Okay, what the selling price should be to maximize, of course, the profit. Okay, the selling price. So remember what we said. What equation? At what point is the profit maximized? Have you seen? We said profit is maximized at the point where here. Mapa monaini. Palishana hapo, pali margin what? Maximum profit. Mapa mona. Is maximized at the point where MC is equal to what? Guys, please, I'm begging you to stick to my methods. I promise you, this will be easy. So, now look at MC. What is our MC? Remember what we said about MC? That MC is equal to what? Variable costs. Have you seen that? So here, since we don't have MC in the question, we're going to look for variable cost. What is our variable cost there?
20 quadrant.
To be 20 will be equal to then our MR has been given to us. Our amount has been given. What equation is that in the example? It has been given to us as what?
50 quadrant minus 0.002.
0.002x or q. It's the same thing. And you say now, look at it this way. This MR is simply A minus B minus 2BQ. Sometimes Q can represent X. All right. So this is why you see the 50 is representing A, the 0.00 is representing B, and then the 0.002 is representing that 2 there. Then the B is representing, the Q is representing X. Yeah, to B, to X. So then what do we do next? We are simply going to say, all right, guys, we are going to say that that one there we have is how much? Is 50, which will be equal to 0.002x, and then we are going to say 0.002x will now be equated to how much? To 50 over 0.002. So here, what we have gotten rid of what? Of 0.002. So we are saying over 0.002 over 0.002. 0.002 goes, then we remain with X. Please mute your speaker. There's some table feedback from somebody. Okay, good. So here goes. So what we have now here, we have X will now be equal to what is 50 divided by 0.002. I think I went to school. I have a master's degree. I can calculate that one in my head. Can you believe that? 25,000. Okay. So what we have there is 25,000. Yeah, 25,000. Now remember that X is 25,000 units. Remember X. What would you say? Always use this word, this equation to simply get the required quantity. Have you seen? After which you must get back to the original what? The original demand function. You remember statement, guys? By maximum revenue. I've put everything in writing. So let's get back to original demand function. So original function, which one is the original function? Now we bring it to life. So here will be equal to, of course, A minus, in other words. So what we do, what is our price? Have you seen? So now we're going to use our price now. The examiner has given us already the original demand function. Guys, for the price, original function is how much? Guys, what is the original price function?
50 minus 0.001.
Of course, 50 minus 0.001, because this is the original. Then which one is quantity? Let's units. That Q represents X. How much do you find? 25,000 units. So you substitute with that one. 0.00. That one, you are going to find that the answer will be 50. How much? 25? 25? How much is that, guys? E minus 25, right?
25.
Profit will be equal to how much? Quarter. This is the price you need to maximize your profit. That's what you always do. Not at yours or at work. That's what you always do. Every single plastic. Anything else? Is there anybody who's not clear? So you can always ask me.
The first part where we're finding the units.
Which first part? Point at things when you tell me that number there and that number there, and not just the first part. There are many first parts in here. So let's go. Tell me when you. Let's go.
The first part where we're finding the number of units.
The first part where we found the number of units.
Yes.
The first part where we found the number of units. Let me turn on the lighting, and maybe I'll be able to see that first part clearly. So that in here. Lord. I've been sitting in this chair for the past 1 month. Like on a daily basis. Can you believe that? So Moya says the first part where we found the units. So which part, where exactly are you not clear? Point that I am not okay with this number or that number, or which one? That's what they want.
Okay, so marginal costing is where marginal costing is equal to MC is equal to MR, just from
Yes.
there. Before we go to the original demand function, but just the first part where we found the 25,000, the number of units.
Oh, so what we did here, we simply got, do you know where the 50 minus 0.002x is coming from?
Yes, it's in the question.
So what you don't know where it's coming from is, do you know where the 20 is coming from?
It's also in the question. The variable.
Do you know why we're using the 20? Do you know why we're using the 20? Do you know that? Do you know why we're using the 20?
That's why I'm looking.
Okay, so come back here, go where it says marginal cost in red. Here. Here, can you see there? In red. You've seen that?
Okay, it's equal to variable cost. Okay.
We said MC is equal to what? Variable cost. Because variable cost is simply the cost that is incurred what for according to level of activities. And also MC is simply the incremental cost for producing one extra unit. Just like marginal revenue is simply the incremental revenue for selling one extra unit. So the exam really does not give you the MC, you have to just use the variable cost. Is that okay?
Yes.
So now are you okay with that? We can or you still need us to continue. What we did to get 25,000, once we did this one we of course multiplied by that, which gave us whatever it gave us. And then we simply did 0.002 over 50, 0.002 over 0.002, then 0.002 was cancelled, then X remained alone, subject to the formula. How would you feel about that?
Okay. I've got it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to part B. So now part B, just to be sure that you guys have gotten what we are discussing. Okay, what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to work out part B with you, and then I'm going to give you the next question to do it on your own, because that's the best way to learn these things, to give students to do something their own. No, makes sense. So now let's go to the next part says. Next part says we're working out which one. Remember here, we are working out maximum what? Maximum profit.
No, revenue.
Maximum price, huh? It was price.
The first one, yes.
You were working out the price, huh? Max price, huh? You were working out the profit what? Profit price maximizing profit, huh? Profit maximizing price. It was max price. Profit. See? Max price. Now, let's go to something else. Something else here. Which one? The examiner has to look at the maximum revenue. Here. The examiner says if the selling price was set to maximize revenue, calculate the result in profit. Of course, we know profit is not difficult. All we simply get is the same price minus variable cost is equal to contribution minus fixed cost of 100. We have profit. We don't care. But we care about this young lady here, the maximum revenue part. If we can get that one out, then the Let's fish that girl out. This young lady here we are fishing out right now without further ado. So without further ado, let's go. To be sure, everything okay?
Yes, Mr.
Fantastic. Shannon, are you alright?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Shannon says she's fantastic. Okay. Right. There we go. There we see. All right, so let's go, guys, to profit. If the price, so max revenue to lead us to profit. Because we're looking for profit. Let's look at the max revenue. Now, remember what we said. We said the max at the point where, notice, maximum revenue is attained at the point. Have you seen that? Where all you do, bring marginal revenue and equate it to 0 to get your maximum revenue. 50 minus, then equate this one to 0. Will be equal to 0.002x. Then you're going to do x over 0.002, then 50 over 0.002. So equal to 50 over 0.00. Then we say, of course, x will be equal to, how much is that, guys? X will be equal to still 25,000. Question, guys. What is x there? What is x representing? Money or units? Units. Because we said this one. Now we gave you a rule. Why? To get back to the original, so that we can get the what? The price. Function, I'm going to say P of Q. Here P, of course, will be equal to, so here P now will be equal to, what is A? 50 minus 0.001, not 2. And then brackets will bring in 25. But this time around, the price will still be the same. Again, so the examiner was playing Tom and Jerry with the students here. So P here will be equal to quarter 25 per unit. So a weak student would say, but I found similar answers on both. Yes, that's what the examiner wanted. He wanted to find the similar answers. Now, once you find that one, now you can go and work out the profit. Profit is equal to, remember, selling price minus variable costs minus fixed costs. Yeah, that is what? That is profit. So profit is equal to selling price minus variable cost minus fixed cost. So what do we do? What is our selling price? So let's go to our selling price. Our selling price is how much? It's 25. Watch up there. But notice our fixed cost in the question have been given to us as a total, not as a unit, 100,000 fixed costs as a total, which means we're supposed to convert our price into the total. Then we convert our variable cost also into the total. So what do we do? There we go. There we go. So here we are going to 25 will be multiplied by what is the quantity that we have worked out, guys? Tell me what is our quantity now? Our new quantity? Very good. 25,000 is our new quantity. So that means what is our revenue now? Our value. What's our revenue? How much do we have?
5,000.
How much?
625,000.
625,000 kwacha. So what do we do? We remove the what? The variable costs. Remember, our variable costs are how much? Our variable cost is 20 kwacha. All right. We multiply by how much? The units, sir?
25,000.
5,000. This gives us a total of how much? A total of how much, guys?
$500,000.
Very good. So we have a total of 500,000. So remember, this one is a total, which gives us a contribution of 125, right? Which now gives us fixed what costs from the equation of how much? 100, which gives us the profit of how much? 25,000 kwacha. So that was supposed to be our profit. So if you think about that one, guys, one thing you're going to see is that this was not so complicated. But again, a student who is sharp could have done it this way. Could have simply said, selling price is equal to 25 kwacha per unit. Variable cost is equal to 20. Have you seen? Which means when you less, what you have is 5, then you multiply by 25,000. Which of course gives you a contribution of how much? How much, guys? How much? One to 25. So you see, so if you did this one, yeah. So here we have a 5. We multiply by 25. This was giving us 125. And then we're just going to remove the 100. This was going to give us the 25. we have worked out our profit. Is there anybody who feels like crying, running away from the exam, because they are so tough, the results are out? Is there anybody who feels like that? So, are we safe, guys? Guys, are we safe? We move on. We have another question. If I need to move on, somebody's on hold. Like, safe. Now, I'm going to give you this question. Now, we do as I always give you something to do so that you show that you've understood. So, you're going to do this question. Strange means everything about this question is extremely strange. Strange limited. Anyway, okay, then I gave you this one as an assignment. You for a few minutes in 40. We have 20 minutes, and then you guys are going to do the last part together. I'm so grateful you've come to this exam. Could you please determine the demand function already? And then the exam says, could you also please calculate the optimum sales volume? You know what? I've never heard of sales volume before, but I've heard of sales price, but I don't know what to apply. It says of full costs, total production cost plus pricing approach that Strange Limited is using. Then you say, you know what? Believe me when I tell you I have no clue. So, Strange Limited produces and sells product unique. The company has previously determined the selling price of product unique by adding a markup of 40%. We don't care. Markup. I think we've talked about this one quite a lot today. The total production cost are shown below, blah, 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 and blah. We don't care. So, the examiner says, you know what, guys, at this price, the company has been selling 17,000 units of product unique every month. At what price? At 21. So, at this price, 21 kwacha per unit, this company has been selling 17,000 units. You must understand that's significant. So the monthly fixed production overheads absorption rate has been determined on the basis of the normal level of activity of how many units? So the normal activity level is 17,000 units per month. That's the normal activity level. 17,000 units per month. Okay, we agree. So those costs you are seeing there, the variable cost, fixed cost, production overheads, they are absorbed on 17,000 units. You must understand that if there was a change, something may also change. The cost may change. So what we have here is monthly fixed production overheads remain at this level of production for production volumes of how much? Over 22,500 units. So the examiner tells you something also very important. He says, you know what, Pamela, I know you're tired, but I want you to remember that fixed cost should not change between 17,000 units and 25,000 units. So starting from 17,000 units all the way to 22,500, the fixed costs remain the same. They can only change when you produce more than 22,500. It tells you that. And it says, you know what, following the market research undertaken by the company's newly engaged marketing officer, the following relationships between monthly demand and price have been established. Can you believe that? Yes, they have been established. All right, so guys, let's go and work out the dongolistic stuff. These things are extremely easy, like nothing you've seen in your entire mathematical accounting life. The examiner says, hey guys, could somebody please tell me what the demand function is? And then you say, you know what, we don't know. But you see guys, the demand function is extremely easy to work out. Let's be honest. Partly because information has been given that we need. So let's go and make the format and then we continue. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to call this question. All right. If you have a question, feel free to ask because that's my job. To explain things when you need them. Strength limited. This is question number 21. Solution. That yes. All right, guys. You guys are awesomely fantastic. I think I like this new software. What do you think of this software, guys? It's nice, huh?
Yes.
It's more faster in terms of moving between screens. Yeah, I think I like this one. You can just move from one screen to another quickly. All right, so strength limited Q21 solution. So guys, what we have here, please feel free in the exam to remember what we said Pamuruapa. Feel free to remember in the exam. Yeah, it's not a crime to remember what you learned. Oh yeah. So what do you think we should do, guys? So remember, when the examiner says demand function, demand function looks something like this. Demand function is equal to, of course, A is equal to P. Okay, just a demand function. So yeah, but P minus A no, P is equal to A minus 2B Q. Okay, that's the demand function. So when the examiner says, could you please tell me the demand function? What the examiner is actually looking for. It just wants you to mention two things. The examiner is not asking you to, to bring about a lot of things, no? All the examiner is looking for is A and B, period. Don't change B, don't be no number. On Q, there should be no number. Where there should just be n is equal to 0. Then B has got a formula, it's going to change in to work out the demand function. So we are going to it's going to be worked out. So what do we do, guys? Let's work out B, because B is easier to work out than A. There's this symbol that they use to make change, right? So let me just say change in price by change in quantity. In quantity. All right, software, because I can quickly rush here and show you. Look at the selling price here, 23 to 24. 20 to 24, 26. So look at 216 to 14, 12. price over change in quantity. Now the answer will still be the same, but I would like to advise you, for the purpose of the example, stick to the first variable. Why? Watch out. It changed from 20 to which one? To 21. It was for volume 18. It changed from 18 to 17. What was the difference? 1,000. 18 to 16. The answer will still be the same. Because 20 to 2,000. So it will be 2 over 2,000, which will still give you 1. 1 over 1,000, stick to the basic. So there we go. All right, guys. So what changed? So the change, we had, of course, 20 minus 21. Let me divide this one. There we had, so I'm showing you guys to just know. So here, what we have, the change in price basically is 1. So we're dividing 1 because that is the change in quantity. And this one has been facilitated by, of course, 18,000 minus 17,000, which gives us that. So there, what we have, B will now be equal to how much? 0.001. Is that okay, guys? This to Asanga B. It is easier to work out B than to work out A. So once you find B, you can now substitute on the demand function there. So you can come here and say price is equal to, what is A? We don't know. Minus what is B? 0.001 Q. Okay, now what is the original price, guys? The original price was 20. So primarily P push 20 so that you make A the subject of the formula. So what you're going to do, you're going to say now A will now be equal to, of course, A will now be equal to 20. Have you seen? Plus, because negative 0.001 Q has moved to that side. So it will be 20 plus 0.001 Q. Now remember, on Q there, we are going to put the original quantity, the one that was sold before the 20 kwacha was how much? It was 18,000. Original quantity, we are going to substitute those ones, and then we're going to say, okay, fine. So now A will now be equal to 20, of course, plus 18. So now A will now be equal to 38 kwacha a unit. So 38 kwacha, if you increase the prices in this company to 38 kwacha per unit, no one will buy, because A represents a price at which demand is equal to 0. So for you to determine a price which people are going to buy, it must be lower than 38. So now, what will be a demand function? Now, what we say, demand function should not contain numbers on B and Q. So now, the demand function will now look something like this. So now, the D function will now be, we're going to say P will now be equal to, what is A? 88 minus, what is B? 0.001 Q. Answer stashani yamana done. Nishimwania. So that's what the demand function should look like. You just have the variables A and B. But to get A and B, you're going to substitute 8 marks, just like that. 8 marks. Imagine 8 marks. 8 solid marks for doing nothing, to be honest. Not much work here. All right. Let's go to something else. Something else says that the optimum what are we working out in part B? Let's go to part B and see what we're working out. Is there anyone with a question? Calculate the monthly optimum sales volume and sales price of product unique. Okay, so let's go to sales volume and sales price. Now remember what we said. What is sales volume? our sales volume. Remember, if to get the price, that's going to maximize our profit. But supposed to remember sales volume and sales price. So that mathematical equation helps to get the what? The volume. And then you're going to get back to original demand function to get the what? The price. Easy. That's like that. Remember that one, guys? Volume and those price. Have you seen? Price is maximized when what? When marginal cost is equal to maximum profit is gotten at the point where M is equal to MR. Then here we are being told that maximum revenue occurs at that point. Then profit maximizing price is equal to MC to MR. So we are going to use this same equation. So what we do, we get back here. You say, you know what? Let's get done with this. We're tired. Okay, let's go to C. Okay, that's B. That is B. Whatever.
5%.
Yes, Madam. Yes, we said the Q on the demand function should not contain a number.
Like A minus 2 on the demand function.
No. Now you've done very well. It's not supposed to be A minus 2. Yeah, you've done very well. Very big problem. So please, the demand function does not contain. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, didn't you? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that correction. Very good. Done very well. So what do we have now? So how do we get the profit? How do we get the profit then? How are we going to get the profit? Okay. To get the profit, we are going to simply need. All we need is the profit. Then we said that profit is maximized at. Work it out, guys. Tell me the answer.
Profit is maximized at the point where marginal cost.
We've talked about this quite a lot, man. Yeah. So here simply maximizing price is equal to MR. So what is our MC? We've not been, our variable costs have been given to us. So all we do, variable production over the unit. Then we get back here. Come and so fine. This one will be equated to marginal costs 2BQ. Very good. Then you're going to say 12 will now be equal to what is A? We've worked out A, right? What is A, guys? Very good. 38 minus what is B? B was 0.001. But now we have got 2, so it's going to 0.002. Then Q. Looking for the quantity here. So 0.002 Q now be equal to 38. Now 38, of course, when 12 jumps that line, goes that other side, it will become a minus. Is that okay? Then we are going to have a Q will be equal to, how much will be that, guys? Q will be equal to how much, guys? What will be quantity there? Q will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 26, right? Over 0.002. So quantity will now be equal to how much? 13,000 units. The quantity required there. And then what did we say? We said you go back to the original demand function. This one is P will be equal to A minus BQ, which will now be simply, what is P? P now is what we're looking for. We don't know, which is equal to, what is A? The original demand function now, guys, remember, A will still be 38, of course, minus, what is B? 0.001 multiplied by quantity, 13,000. So what is the price required, guys, to maximize profit? Tell me. Because now here I know that 38 will remove 13. That means price will be equal to quarter 25 per unit. That is what you need. 8 marks. 8 we can work out our profit, right? You remember I said the profit is equal to selling price minus what? Variable costs. Variable costs then minus fixed what? Fixed costs and profits. So guys, we got profit now. What is the the profit, guys. Under 1 minute, under less than 5 minutes, we need to go. What will be the profit? Guys, what is our so mureisha muri mkrasi murewatta musta mureisha where we starting okay tamkumanya examiner lemulolera. What we have is remember the fixed costs are still remaining at 3,000 kwacha at 3 kwacha per unit, and then the NOS is 17 times 3, that is 51,000. Our value is 21. When we less, our price is 25. When we less times 17, then we get our units, then we get our profit. So what is the profit? Profit, guys, tell me. What is the remember the price, selling cost of 13, which leaves us with 12. Then that's 1,000 units. That gives us how much is that, guys? 12 by 17. Okay, 204. How much? 51. So how much is your profit?
153.
Is it true that 25?
Yes, 53,000.
So you're saying that the profit 1,000? Not very. The quantity is not supposed to be 17. Remember, we're just working out a quantity, guys. Remember, the 13, we are multiplying it by the 13,000, quantity 13,000. How much is that? Yeah, that is 169. Yeah. Then we remove the fixed costs of how much? Of course, 51,000. So 118,000. That is the profit. Yeah. So profit is 118. All right, guys. The question is done. So you do, of course, do your work now. Do your studying. We have looked at what is important. So do part C and D, those theory bits, submit part C and D as your assignment. Okay? Submit part C and D as your assignment before class tomorrow. Submit part C and D. There we go. Part C is about talking about weaknesses, and also part D explain, and part E. These are your assignments. Please submit this one before class tomorrow morning. Okay, so there we go. I want to say thank you so much, guys, for staying. We can now call it a day. So, everything okay? I can go, right?
You can tell me when you're available for ABC.
Okay, all right, we'll do that. So, I'm now stopping the recording. Yeah, so thank you so much. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow.
on your mind. What you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. Now, if you do those things, you're halfway done. Now, the last part is what you are trying to prove. Yeah. So if you say here that she has, if you say